Hey everyone, I'm Erika and right now I'm going to recommend one of the best historical romance books that I have read, Eloise and James' masterpiece. Have any of you ever read Much Ado About You? Well, before that, I'm going to let you know that this is actually not the original version of the book. The original version is this one, but you know what's the matter? It's on the inside, not on the outside. So I'm going to read the summary of the story for you. So this is how it went. It's actually really interesting.
When you are the oldest daughter, you don't get to have anyone. Witty or Pentas Essex faces her daddy, marry well and marry quickly, so she can arrange matches for three sisters, beautiful Annabelle, romantic Imogen, and practical Josie. After all, right now they are under the rather awkward guardianship of the perpetually tipsy Duke of Holberg. But just when she begins to think that all might end well, one of her sisters falls with the horse-mad young lord, and her own fiancé just plain runs away, which leaves Tess contemplating marriage to the sort of man she wishes to avoid, one of London's most infamous rags. Lucius Felton is a rogue whose own mother considers him irredeemable. He's delicious, Annabelle points out, and is rich, Josie notes. But although Tess finally consents to marry him, it may be for the worst reason of all. Absurd as she knows it to be, she might have fallen utterly in love.
It's really interesting, isn't it? It's been like 4 or 5 years since I read this book. When I was like 14 or 15 years old, I guess. And I remember when I read this book all day because I really like how the romantic story happened in this book. It was like realistic and made sense how they could fall in love with each other. The author herself, Eloise James, she's a tenured Shakespeare professor. I think you can guess how the story of this book because in this book it is also often discussed and involves a connection with Hamlet, one of Shakespeare's books. And actually, when I was reading this book, I didn't expect I would quickly understand it because before that I also like to read classic novels and in my opinion it was not easy to understand. I think when it comes down to classic literature for beginners, there's a few aspects that need to be considered, like the length of the word, because if it's quite wordy and in older English or more like Spanish English, it's a lot more to deal with, especially in the big chunks. That is why, if for the first time you want to read a book with this genre, then read this one. It's really worth it, I ain't gonna lie. Other than that, there are some things that you can learn from this book about what happened in the past. I mean, what happened in the past, or rarely or may never happen again nowadays. One that I got was about marriage. People at the time married even though they were still underage, especially teenage girls. When they experience poverty or any kind of problems that makes them have to marry to a grown man, then they have to do it, whether it's to survive or it's their own will. And also about inheritance. If the family only has daughters, one day if their father dies, then the inheritance from him will be passed on to their cousins or maybe their cousins or other relatives, but it must be male. I actually don't really understand why that was how it worked in those days, but that is also one of the reasons why young girls married to a rich man. And that is the reason why you should read this book, because it is easy to understand and there are some things that you can learn from it, you know. And of course, this book is very entertaining. You can read it anytime when you're like, when you want to know about how something happened in the past, when you are bored, when you are waiting for something, or even when you have nothing to do. Or maybe if you're still single and you want to like explore something romantic, then read this one. Trust me, you won't regret it. Thank you guys for watching my videos and don't forget to read this book. This is